What's going on, everybody? Welcome to After Prison Show. And today I just want to sit and have a conversation with you guys. There is so much. Wow, I was talking fast right there. There's been a lot of things that we've been doing as of late. You guys are seeing it in the videos that we're doing, but you're not getting, you're just not knowing about everything. And today I want to tell you guys what's been going on and just talk with you. Folks, I don't even know where to begin with this, and there's so much to share with you guys, and I'm not going to try to make this video super long, but I really just want to give you guys, I guess, an update on things that I just haven't had a chance to share with you guys. And I guess the best place to start with everything is with last Friday. And my God, by the time you guys are seeing this video, all of this is super late. It was my intentions and my hopes to be able to film about this earlier in the week, but we have been busy, and I don't really think that that's even that great of an excuse, but it is the truth. Folks, last Friday, as you guys might remember, we had 2 moves go on the same exact day at the same exact time. I wanted to vlog that experience to be able to share it with you guys, but we were working so hard, we really did not have a chance to film that much at all. We had 2 moves go at the exact same time, and I honestly went into last Friday morning feeling scared, feeling like we were not going to be able to accomplish all of the work that we were obligated to do. In short, we did. It was a long day. We worked from 8 o'clock in the morning till 6:30 at night, and you would imagine we probably would have worked a lot later trying to get 2 moves done. But surprisingly, we were able to be completed with both moves by 6:30 in the evening. And both of these moves involving me, Jellico, and Jew-Man were some very tough moves to do. The first move, where we got there at 8 o'clock in the morning, was an entire house move from one townhouse to an actual house, moving a lot of furniture downstairs, and then at the new house, moving a lot of furniture upstairs. When we got to that job at 8 o'clock in the morning, we started with the master bedroom that had like 8 massive items just in that room alone. In fact, that master bedroom was one load in the box truck by itself. Folks, we got that move done in less than 3 hours. I think it was 2 hours and 15 minutes. And then we had to stop everything we were doing there and then go move a dining room table and chair set. It was a dining room table. The guy told me it was a 10-foot by 4-foot dining room table and 14 chairs. Folks, I bid this job at $250. What I didn't know until the day prior to us actually doing this move was that this was a $12,000 custom-made dining room table and chair set. I've actually got pictures of it right here, where the tabletop alone to this thing weighed every bit of 300 pounds. Folks, there were no breaks on last Friday. And luckily enough for us, we didn't break nothing either. That just flowed together really nice right there. So last Friday was a super busy day. We've been doing a fair amount of moving work, and we've also been doing the storage units as well, folks. We've been sharing those with you. A lot of people have even said, Joe, you've become addicted to the storage units. You're probably right. But then again, you know, we're not that far in the red. I'm only about a little over $200 in the red, so it hasn't entirely been a complete waste of time and money. But then again, you know what they say about addiction. The first sign of it is denial. So I'm probably a lot deeper in this addiction than I actually even realize. But with all of these storage units that we've been doing, there's a lot of things that we haven't even been able to share with you guys. And a lot of that involves what we've actually been selling. Folks, we've been selling a lot of things that don't even make the videos. Book sets, like this Left Behind series that was just purchased by an awesome supporter of After Prison Show by the name of Jesse. A very special shout out to him. Mary Kay products, an awesome supporter of After Prison Show by the name of Jen just purchased some of those from us. I've also been getting a lot of messages from women basically threatening me in my DMs, asking me, hey, is you a Mary Kay consultant? Because if you not, you going to jail. You going to jail if you not a Mary Kay consultant. They be pressing charges. Them Mary Kay chicks, they ain't nothing to mess with. I'm more scared of them in my DMs than I ever was of anybody in prison. We've also sold mattresses. We sold this big mirror that we sat on since the very beginning of time with After Prison Show doing storage units. And it was just yesterday that I finally sold the little 19-inch flat screen Vizio TV without a remote for a whopping $25. And again, real quick about that mirror that we sold that for $8. You know, some of the stuff that you find in these storage units, you put a price tag on it immediately when you stumble across it. Oh, a king-size bed frame set. Yo, we could sell that for $100. That's $100 right there. But wouldn't you know, I got people reaching out to me about that right now for 50 bucks. And it's got a lot of scratches and wear on it as well, so it might not be worth much more than that. But I bring up all of the things that we've been selling because, folks, I swear, I want to do a video about my interactions with people on either OfferUp or Facebook Marketplace, and I'm trying to tell y'all, it deserves its own video. I have had some of the most crazy interactions with people just through either the messages or actually meeting with these people. And I'm gonna share 2 crazy stories with you guys real quick involving just that. And this first story, actually, you know what? Both of the stories involve that 19-inch flat screen Vizio TV with no remote for $25. For as long as we had that TV and we're trying to sell it, we've had a number of different people reach out to us, wanting to buy it. But one thing that you got to know about this, and I don't think I get a chance to address this, or maybe I haven't had a chance to address this yet, is that anytime that you post something for sale, and especially on Facebook Marketplace, I have learned that certain items, especially if you post a lot of items, you're gonna have an item maybe like once a week, maybe every couple of days, that goes what I like to refer to as viral on the Facebook Marketplace. And for whatever reason, you're gonna see that a lot of people are seeing that item and seem to be interested in that item. And I don't know how that works. Maybe by everybody who reaches out saying, is this available? It gets pushed up a little bit further. And then before you know it, you've got 100 people messaging you asking, hey, is this still available? And the good thing about Facebook Marketplace is they give you like some options of quick responses. And one of them is, yes, it is. Since we've been doing storage units and posting things for sale on Facebook Marketplace, I have probably said, yes, it is, at least, no exaggeration, 1,000 times. And the crazy thing about it is you're going to have all of these people who reach out asking, is this still available? Yes, it is. And then the conversation ends right there. You get ghosted just like that. Why were you even inquiring about this item for me to respond telling you that it's still available? If that's it, that's the end of the conversation. Were you just curious to know, is this item still available? Was it that interesting to you? Honestly, folks, I don't know. But every so often, the conversation will go a little bit further. And I'll never forget this one time, this guy messaged me about that TV asking me, hey, is this still available? And I would respond, yes, it is. Folks, I could have never imagined what was going to come next, and maybe it's not as crazy as I'm making it seem, but it was crazy to me, and maybe some of you might find it crazy as well. When I told this guy that this TV was still available, he would message me back and say, okay, I want the TV. I was so happy because I was like, cha-ching, here's another sale. Here's a little bit more money. I don't know what this motion is all about. Here's a little bit more money that's going to help us get out of the negative and more toward the profit line. Straight Ty Lopez of the storage unit. The guy would message me and tell me that he was interested in the TV and he wanted it. I would message him back saying, okay, great. When would you like to get it? And folks, what took place next? Well, I thought it was kind of crazy. This man would message me back and say, well, first, I have to go get a job. You're on Facebook Marketplace looking for a 19-inch Vizio TV with no remote. You're inquiring about it, and you've got no job, let alone any money. What I wanted to tell this dude was, where in the are your priorities at? You need to be spending a little bit less time on OfferUp and a little more time on Indeed or Monster.com or Career Builder. But this message would not just end with, well, first, I need to go get a job. This man would tell me, he would say, well, first I need to go get a job, and then I need to start making some money. And then, once I get me a couple of checks and maybe a little bit of extra money, I would like to purchase the TV. This man literally responded to my question about when he would like to get the television with his life goals, okay? This was, but you know what? Good for him. Who's to tell you where you need to be listing out your objectives, your goals for the day, your goals for your lifetime? You can do that anywhere you want to. And if this man wanted to, talk to himself out loud in the comment section of a $25 television, so be it. I would not respond to this guy because I was filled with every sort of crazy type of thing that I wanted to respond to him with. So I felt like is a very cliche thing to say, but I felt like, if you don't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. I should have wished the guy good luck. Hey man, good luck. I didn't do anything like that. And I never heard from that guy again. And I'm really curious and hopeful, that he found a job. And real quick before I tell you the second story about, the crazy interactions that I've had involving trying to barter and, and negotiate selling inventory that we've been getting from these storage units. I want to tell you something else as well. You will, if you get into this, if this is something that piques your interest and you want to start buying and selling things that you might get from a storage unit or anywhere else, you're going to hear people hit you with this sob story, and they're going to hit you all up in the feels. I can't tell you how many gut-wrenching messages I've gotten. And maybe this is going to sound a little callous, a little cold-hearted, but it's the truth. I've got no pity for your sob stories at all. None! I remember one time we had a twin-size mattress for sale. We've long since sold that, and I think it was an expensive, you know what? It was a full-size mattress. I take that back. It was a really nice full-size mattress. We had 2 of them during this time. We ended up selling both of these for $150 a piece. We got these mattresses for free from a moving job that we did a couple of weeks ago. But I'll never forget somebody who messaged me about these mattresses asking me, hey, is this still available? Yes, it is. I'm interested in these mattresses. I'd like to get them. I say, well, when would you like to get them? And they hit me all up in the feels. Cody, cue the violin track.
Well, hello, kind sir. I definitely would like to get the mattress from you, but I'm currently in a custody battle with my ex-wife. She has been every sort of a horrible type of a woman in my life. Currently, I don't have any additional funds, but I do need a place for my children to be able to sleep whenever I am able to see them. Currently, I only have weekend visitation rights. If there's any way that you could possibly find it in the kindness of your heart to consider giving me the mattress. I know you have it listed for $150, and I've got no idea what your financial situation could possibly be like. But sir, my kids mean everything to me, and I really need a mattress for them to be able to sleep every other weekend that I have them in my custody.
Ain't nobody got time for your sob stories. I mean, this is Facebook Marketplace and this is OfferUp. You know, there's people who are doing this type of stuff for a living. And if YouTube ever fails, and there's a good possibility it could, I could very likely be doing this for a living myself. But let me go ahead and tell you the final story involving that TV. And breaking news, folks, I just sold it last night, that 19-inch television, for $25. I got my full asking price for the television, which is rare. I've listed items for $60, have people offering me less than half of that. Maybe my pricing is incorrect, or more than likely, they just be lowballing. But again, folks, last night, in fact, I would finally sell that television, and the story involving that sale was insane. Folks, it was late in the evening. It was 6 o'clock at night. My wife was just getting ready to be coming home from work. I wanted to relax. A guy would message me on OfferUp saying that he was interested in the television. He wanted to buy it. I took this guy very serious because of the fact that he had a verified account on OfferUp. I don't really trust people who don't have a verified account or no stars or their account's brand new. I know that's probably stereotypical, but it's the truth. You don't never know who you're going to be meeting making some of these little sketchy deals off of these marketplaces. But this guy would hit me up who's got a verified account. He was interested in the television. He wanted to get it. I said, okay, great. If you're available tomorrow, that would be perfect. He said, hey, look, I really want to get the television tonight, and I'll even come to you. This guy was aggressive. That could potentially affect the number of stars I'm going to give you after this transaction. But the fact of this guy telling me he's willing to come to me, I'm not going to lie, it was definitely a little more tempting. So this guy told me he was coming from Newport News. That is over an hour away. He said he wasn't going to be leaving until 7 o'clock at night. I'm already knowing that this transaction is going to take place after dark. And because I am so TTG, I swear, I am the most thug life for life dude you will ever see doing this prison YouTube stuff. I told this guy I would like to meet in a well-lit public parking lot. I gave the guy an address to a local grocery store right around the corner from my house, and he said that was fine. He also asked whether I preferred cash or Cash App, and at this point I could care less as long as I'm getting paid. So Cash App was fine. About an hour later, it was about 7:45, this guy would message me telling me he was 5 minutes away. I got up in the truck, loaded up the truck with the television, and I went and I waited up in this parking lot. Now when I got there, it wouldn't be but a couple of minutes later when this guy would message me telling me he took the wrong exit and he would be there shortly. And folks, this was the first red flag that flew up. I began to get a little skeptical. Maybe this was a fake verified account. Maybe this was a setup for a robbery. It's getting a little darker. I told this guy what color vehicle and kind of vehicle that I was in, but I had no idea what he was driving. Is this guy already in the parking lot waiting for me, ready to follow me back to my house and then commit a home invasion? I had no idea, but I was thinking it could be possible. This individual in question I was waiting for was a black fella, and I'm not trying to throw race into the equation, but that's just a fact of the story. It would be a couple of minutes later when a car would pull up with a black guy and a black gal in the car. I would open up the car door, and mind you, we're sitting in the back of the parking lot as well. I opened up the car door as soon as they opened up theirs. They looked at me very confused and worried about who I might be before I realized I've just stereotyped these folks accidentally. I embarrassingly got back into my vehicle, not trying to make eye contact with them at all. They were checking their brake lights. I'm probably sitting in this parking lot looking like a complete drug addict waiting for my connect to show up. If the cops showed up first, they would probably think the same, would not believe that I'm sitting up here waiting to do an offer-up transaction, even though I've got the television in the passenger seat of the truck, and they would probably think it was more likely that I was trading this 19-inch Vizio flat screen television with no remote for drugs. I'm anxiously waiting in my car, but I'm not trying to look too anxious because the first sign of a person waiting on drugs is that anxious look. Folks, we had just ordered Pizza Hut pizza. I've got pizza and a chocolate chip cookie pie waiting for me at the house. That's all I want to get back to. My wife, that pizza, and that chocolate chip cookie pie. This guy would take a little longer than I'll be there shortly. I probably waited for about 15 more minutes before this guy actually showed up, and when he did, he was a very nice guy. I had to look at my messages to even remember what his name was. I'm not going to put his name out there because he's probably already looked me up, and it's going to be kind of embarrassing, but I'm sure he's going to be watching this video, and you'll understand why in just a little bit. This guy would show up, a relatively younger guy, maybe in his 20s, built. You could tell this guy works out. Very clean-cut looking individual. He shows up, we introduce ourselves, he looks at the television, he takes it no problem, cash apps me that $25. It was a good deal. I'm ready to give this guy the 5 stars already. But folks, we would open up a conversation, a channel of dialogue between the two of us that would get a little crazy and would leave me with more questions than I had answers, and possibly you guys can help me with this. After the transaction was completed, the guy asked me if I was from this local area. I told him that I was, and he says, hey, that's awesome because I'm thinking about trying to get some Airbnbs out here and also in Virginia Beach. And as soon as this man said that he was interested in trying to get Airbnbs, I automatically assumed that this guy was some sort of a house flipper, or maybe he had properties. And with the fact that, prior to doing storage units, getting into real estate was something that we had considered and almost probably spent every damn dime that we had and potentially could have ended up a hell of a lot worse in the red than we are currently at, I think like about $205, maybe $192. It's somewhere right around there. But as soon as he mentioned Airbnbs, I automatically assumed this guy was into properties. I asked him, I said, hey man, what do you do? Do you buy and sell houses? Do you have properties? And he would tell me that he was an investor. As soon as I heard this, Joe put the gas pedal to the floor. I said, you're an investor? I thought about doing the same. And then I asked this guy if he had any properties, and he said that he didn't, and I want to say that he said he was from Chicago, and if I heard correctly, I think he said that he had properties in Chicago. He was looking at properties in Chicago. I might have gotten a little confused right there, but whatever the case was, again, this man told me he was an investor, and then right after that, or shortly thereafter, he would tell me that he was looking for a partner, and maybe me and him should be partners. And it was at this point, after I had already had the gas pedal to the floor, where I started to ease up on the gas and started to really pump the brakes and think about this situation. I've probably already said too much about myself, and I've also already exchanged my phone number with this guy, but you know what? He's got a 5-star verified OfferUp account. That lets me know this guy can be trusted. But again, folks, I start pumping the brakes and I start thinking to myself, the first red flag was, dude just met me. It's 8 o'clock at night. We're sitting in a well-lit grocery store parking lot, and he's asking me to be his partner in real estate. And I'm a little disappointed in myself that that was the first red flag, folks, because the second red flag that would really get my attention should have been the first one. And what that was, folks, is, as I'm having this conversation with this dude, not only is he telling me about investing and he's an investor and Airbnbs, he then begins to talk about wholesaling real estate. And I said, oh yeah, I know about wholesaling real estate. You buy rehab houses for like $25,000, you invest $25,000 into them. He said, no, Wholesaling houses is, let's say, you, my partner. You go buy a house for $50,000 and I basically become like the realtor without a license. We sign a contract where I get the opportunity to try to sell the house for you for, of course, some sort of an additional profit. And folks, if you've ever been on Facebook, you got a Facebook account, or if you ever seen any of those videos online where they talk about either drop shipping or real estate or any Ty Lopez videos, you've seen them. Sometimes they can get stuck in your head. Sometimes they can become very appealing. And sometimes they can be brainwashing. And when this man started to talk to me about wholesaling houses, it was almost like he was going line for any one of those pre-roll ads from a YouTube video or from a Facebook video of exactly what they're talking about in any of those videos about how to get into real estate. I would also notice as he was basically reading from a script from possibly any kind of Ty Lopez monthly membership that he's involved in, that his eyes were completely glassed over. This guy was in a zombie-like trance, completely infected with the fever that most certainly came from some sort of a social media video. So the first red flag was most certainly, this guy asking me to be a partner with him, and I literally just met him 5 minutes prior. The second red flag was the eyes glassed over and basically reciting line for line from any video that you've seen on the internet about this topic right here. And the third red flag that should have been the first was the fact that I was thinking to myself as this man was talking to me and I was listening to him like.
So yeah, like I was saying, we just met 5 minutes ago, but I need an investor. I'm trying to get Airbnbs all over this area. I'm from Chicago, and I've potentially got
Joe,
in Chicago, but I really want
this is your inner conscious speaking to you. Your inner conscience speaking to you.
Joe, you need to pick up on the signs. You literally just met this guy on OfferUp, and he just bought a used 19-inch color flat screen Vizio television with no remote control for $25. But an investor, he says. I'm an investor. I haven't done any investing yet, but I'm ready to be an investor. Sometimes they say all you got to do is think it into existence. It doesn't necessarily mean that you need to have money. I'm an investor from Chicago, Airbnbs, wholesaling properties, real estate, Ty Lopez, monthly membership fees, and all of that. But look, I'm telling you, I believe in this. I know that there was a reason we were in this parking lot together in the middle of the night. It was meant to be.
Again. That should have been the first damn red flag. How you investing in real estate, but yet you buying a $20 television at 8 o'clock at night that you drove an hour and a half away for that doesn't even have a remote? But no shade at all, Before I got into storage auctions, trying to flip things off of OfferUp, lowballing people, seeing, that was where I was at. If you guys remember back to that time, it was during that time that I bought the box truck, I bought the trailer, I bought a zero turn. And instead of trying to buy things to flip from OfferUp because that never panned out for us, and I was looking at everything. Jet skis, cars, couches. We actually got into going and picking up free couches. Y'all remember that time. I thought that there could be some profitability from trying to flip things off of OfferUp, so who's to say? Maybe that's where this guy is starting from. Sometimes they say all you got to do is think it into existence. He's a damn investor. He was a very nice individual, but sometimes, sometimes guys got pipe dreams, and if you're not careful, they will try to sell you those pipe dreams all day and all night. They will talk to you till they're blue in the face. What if I would have had a checkbook on me? What if this man would have convinced me? And instead of me being smart enough and picking up on the fact that I needed to wrap this conversation up as quickly as I could, get back to my house, get back to that pizza, and get back to that chocolate chip cookie pie? What if instead I was making this video telling y'all never believe what I did? Oh, hey, I'm out of here. I met an investor from Chicago who's interested in doing Airbnbs, and I just stroked a check to this guy for everything I'm worth. And it's only been a week and I haven't heard from this guy yet, but trust me, he's going to be calling. I'm not going to say it would have went like that, but it could have. I guess the moral to all of this is we are not trying to move too fast. Yes, we're doing a lot of things. People say, Joe, you spread yourself way too thin. I do. But I am ambitious. And I want to show people and show the world that, you can do any damn thing out here. There are so many different ways to go about attempting to try to make money legally outside of working for a wage you might not be satisfied with, or might not even be enough for you to be able to do anything. You got to look at everything that we've done here. You know, we've had cleaning business and moped rental business attempts, the moving and hauling, landscape, trying to flip couches, and now the storage units that got us basically selling inventory all hours of the day and night, like we some type of a dope dealer out here. But it's legal. And whether we continue to do this for a long time or we don't do this for much longer at all, I know for a fact this has inspired others to get into this type of thing. They're getting knee deep in the addiction like people think that I am, but it could be somewhat worth it. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be super lucrative because, you know, it's a shot in the dark whether you're gonna get anything that's gonna be worth anything or not. But it's like anything else in this world, you know, and if you don't take a chance, you'll never know. And folks, I wanted to share this video with you guys to just kind of bring you up to speed on some things that I haven't had a chance to share with you yet, things that have been heavy on my mind, and things that I've wanted to share with you guys. And I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did so, please leave a like and a comment, letting me know exactly what you thought about that sketchy little television deal that I made last night. As always, until next time, enjoy life, the free world. Never take a moment for granted, and make the most of every day. Peace!